Hi, my name is Laura Paisley Beck, also known as WAM, WA''AM. I have a podcast called Be the Glitter, where we talk about tough topics with giggles and leave inspiration that sticks. And I just use Zoom for the initial podcast recording, and then I come in here to Descript. And as you can see, I've already uploaded the video. I have changed the captions just by selecting here the bold caption I want, but my brand guide says that I need to use Noto Sans for the fonts. As you can see, there's plenty of fonts here. I choose my brand colors for the inactive words as well as the active words here. So I just change all of that to my brand hex codes. In fact, you can click on here and choose custom and make sure the future words are also a different color. So these are just my brand colors right off the bat. And then from here, I'm noticing that LP, when she talks, now if you compare that to when I talk, so you can hear a difference. Her microphone isn't quite picking up her voice as well as I thought when we were first recording. So I'm just going to go to the mighty Underlord here, and I like to give him a little sugar. Oh, mighty Underlord. You know, I'm from Wisconsin, so I'm going to say, could you please? I'm going to say the audio for speaker, because I have identified the speakers here. LP House Story to the same level. Speaker Laura. We're going to see what happens. So Underlord really loves me. I just think maybe it's because I talk very nicely to him or her, them. But now look at this. They're analyzing the script. They're totally looking at the volume, the audio levels of both of the speakers, and they're going to adjust it accordingly, which is fabulous. It does take some time, so this is where I get to tell you some other things I like to do in Descript. As you notice, when I do the full podcast, I do have it in this horizontal format, and I can very easily add my intro and outro that has my branded thumbnail right in there, a little animation, and I also insert my audio that I use through Chillhop Music and make sure that I use there. Okay, it looks like the audio has been boosted. I apologize. I have to pay attention to the Underlord. So if I need to tweak the volume any further, we can fine tune specific sections, and the Underlord will make those right away. So let's take a listen and see if we can hear a difference. So first me. So it's not terrible. So it's not quite as great as we would like. They looked at the speakers. They did apply some audio and visual changes. Underlord, you are so mighty. Could you please boost the speaker? Please audio a bit more. It's still quieter. Nora, she needs more boost and bass. I'm going to say warm because I believe that's also a word that's used in one of the properties for audio. So we're going to do that. So something I also absolutely love about Descript is I can just go right in here and add music very easily. I don't have the audio file this second, but literally you just highlight where you want the music and you go ahead and add that layer. And if I had the audio file, I would just select it and add it right here. It's so super simple. And then if I need to drag the audio at all, I can just go right in here and pull it and drag it to where I need the music to show up, and I can fade it in and out very easily. Okay, so as you can see, the Underlord wants me to give this a listen. Let's take a little listen here. So we'll just start right here. I think it sounds better. Also, the Underlord has totally come through yet again. This is so fun. Now, another fun thing that I like to do is I like to come in here, and when I have this all done, I like to say, hey, can you find that spot in the script? Let's just try it for kicks. Oh, sweet, wonderful. You have to give him some love, right? Underlord, could you please find the clip where LP story talks about getting treated poorly, looking for an apartment. And this is really fun. So now it's just going to go through the whole 1 hour podcast, mind you. So this is not a small piece of transcript, and it's going to totally find and highlight that section for me. So I can very easily go, aha, this is the clip that I want to use for a YouTube short or for a TikTok post. So as you can see now, it's a separate file, and I can click on this, and now I'll show you proof here. If you look here at the top on the right where my cursor is here, you can see this is the full project up here, but this is a clip of her apartment hunting. And then what I can do is click on this and say, fabulous Underlord, can you please make this clip TikTok worthy? That's all you have to do. And it'll immediately make it a vertical. And this is really fun because it will enhance it to, and usually I will go into the whole big podcast and I will ask it to make it TikTok worthy right from the beginning. But I just wanted to show you, you can literally just find that spot in the script. I interview a lot of people in the LGBTQ world. I tend to remember some pretty cool things that they say, and I want to highlight them for some pretty interesting. See, now it's already updating the layer, so I probably shouldn't touch anything. I'm just going to go ahead and make this Noto Sans, though, because that's my thing. And this is my other thing, so I like to go in here and make this, like that, make it the right color of, I do that. I go in here, I make it, oopsies. I have all these things I like to do with my text. It needs to be all caps. I'll have to go down here. See how I do that. And I really don't want borders. So here we go. What it normally does is it likes to make this kind of, see this, it's like a gradient screen. So I just pull that down a little bit so I can grab this. I double click it and just move it to who's talking. I tend to just know that I want it to be 200 and I get it centered how I want. Move, oh yeah, say done. Move the captions up here, make sure it's nice and centered. And see, I can grab the gradient again and go like that. Now watch this. I can flip it the other way around. So it's darker on the top, lighter on the bottom, because we only want it darker for the captions. You get to totally watch me totally dork out on this. Isn't this fun? There we go. Yep, what a difference that makes. Okay, now I'm going to go back and change the background on these captions. I don't really want that background at all. So now you can see here we've got LP. This isn't even exactly the clip I wanted, but actually this is pretty good. It shows the contrast. So notice here in the transcript, now I can, you're asked to simply add, must be bad, quote. Yeah, it just kept happening. So see here, there is a fade out. If you don't want that, you just remove it and then it's done. Then if I wanted to, I can just go ahead and add a graphic at the end and a graphic in the beginning and the right music that I want. So I hope this helped you see a little bit of how the Underlord can totally get you working from huge 1 hour long podcast project. I didn't even show you half the things that I always do. Like we can shorten word gaps and find all the word gaps. Just go ahead and shorten all of them. I like to go in here and fine tune sometimes by just scrolling this up and looking at any of the other lulls in the conversation, like right here, and I can see if I want to just go ahead and get rid of that by doing Shift S. I'm on a Mac, so I don't know if it's different on a different computer. Shift S, I can just grab this and go, boop, gone. See all these ums that we've got in here? If we don't want them, we can just go ahead and remove filler words. 540 filler words were detected in this composition. So you don't have to do that if you like the cadence of how everybody talks. But if it gets to be too much, you can go ahead and find all these filler words. And I like to click avoid harsh cuts, and it won't take all of them out. It will analyze the conversation and make sure it still sounds pretty cool, like natural conversation. And then you can just remove those. So it just takes editing a ginormous project, really not much time at all. So I hope this helps. Thank you. Have a fabulous time playing with your Descript.